Hi everyone, it's Laurel here, and I'm here today with a card from start to finish using Design Memory Crafts Faber Castell Gelatos and glue. And this is what we're going to be making. It's so cool. And yes, I said glue. So to start with, this is a piece of watercolored paper. Now this is actually the Hero Arts watercolor paper. I had forgotten I had this, and it's in my stash, and it's more of an off-white color versus the Tim Holtz, which is a white color. So I have a lot of this, so I'm going to start using this as well. So to start with, I'm going to prime my project. I'm going to prime my card base there, and with some gesso. Think of gesso like a primer, just like if you were to paint your walls or some furniture, you would prime it. That's what we're going to do with this card paste right here. I want it to be really smooth going on, and I just find I get a lot better results if I put a layer of the gesso down first. So I've gone ahead and applied it with a brush there, and I'm going to set it to the side to dry and clean up my work area here. Actually, I have no patience, so I'm going to zap it with my heat gun and dry the process along here. So that's the Milwaukee heat tool that I'm using there. So I'm just going to dry up my layer there before we get started. And then this is just some glue I found lying around my craft room. I recently discovered something else that you can do with glue that I'm super excited about, but I didn't figure it out until after I made this card, so I'm going to make another video. It's so cool. But anyway, back to this. I just squirted a whole bunch of glue down on my card base. Now this is some Scotch quick dry adhesive. It still took a long time to dry because I put such a thick layer down. Normally people don't put, that's not what people use the glue for. So I set it aside and I worked on some other stuff. Now this project is kind of time consuming because you have to let things dry in between. But it's worth it to me. So now my glue is all dry. I think maybe an hour went by or so. I went and did some other stuff. I'm going to go in with these gelatos. Bubblegum, mint green, and metallic purple and metallic green, I think. All my supplies will be linked up below in the description of the YouTube channel. But I do know that the purple and the green are metallics, and then I've got that really cool pink there. Any colors that you want to use will work just fine with this. So I'm just kind of spreading it around, really not putting much thought into it whatsoever. I'm just spreading it around. That's the fun thing about these things. Each time you use them, you're going to get something totally different. These gelatos are so much fun. I love them. So I'm working off my Tim Holtz craft sheet, of course, because it's easy cleanup. And I'm going to spritz my card base with a lot of water. You can see I am spritzing until I see puddles, just to start moving the gelatos around a little bit. And now I'm going to use a couple of different brushes. I found that when I was using the same brush, some of my colors were getting muddy because they were blending together. So you'll see me switch off to some different brushes here. But for now, I'm just getting all of the blending done. And it's not going to look pretty right now. And that's okay. Just like when you're doing other techniques, maybe with distress inks or something, they usually don't look pretty as you're doing them. But once they dry, it's stunning. And these gelatos are no exception. I absolutely love them. So I grabbed another brush here and I'm trying to blend and get more of the pink. But as I touch the purple, my colors start getting muddy. So I'm taking a wet wipe. I'm just kind of dabbing some of it away and I'm going to just move on. So I've got a little bucket of water that you can't see off to the side that I'm dipping my brush in as well. So I just want all the colors nice and blended. Now one thing about the gelatos is once they are dry, they are completely dry, they are permanent. So you don't need to use a fixative or anything like that with gelatos, which is great because I don't have a fixative, number one, and I don't want to have to go buy anything. Number two, because I'm cheap, number three. So anyway, I'm going in adding a little bit more pink. I wanted some more pink to pop in the background. Now, it doesn't look pretty. I know that. It's okay. It's okay to think, God, this is ugly. But it's not going to be when we're done. Look at that. Look at that. I think that's cool. So this is it, all nice and dry. And you've got some of the shine from the metallic gelato shining through. You've got that dimension of the glue popping up off the card base there. It's just so cool. So I've got a piece of pink cardstock here, and I just inked it up with this Impression Obsession ink pad. I'm sorry, I thought I did that on camera, but I didn't. And I used some Simon Says Stamp ink, and again, everything will be linked up on the blog here. I apologize, I didn't get that in the camera. So now I've gone and stamped this hello. It's from Paper Smooches. I think it's called Word Up. And I'm stamping this hello, and I'm going to color it in with gelatos. I'm using the same colors that I used on the card base. And I had stamped a strip down there with the gelatos as well. So I'm going in with a brush and I'm blending it again. Off to the side, that was some water, rinsing off my brush there. And I want to have more of the green and the pink and less of the purple since that purple is such a strong color. So as you can see, I take my wet wipe and I wipe some of it away. And now I'm going to add some more pink and blend it wipe some of it away. And I'm just going to keep doing that until I get the look that I like. And when you wipe it away, you can see you're wiping away all that kind of muddy look. You can actually just blend with your wet wipe and omit the paintbrush altogether. So now we're going to go ahead and finish off the card. It's a busy card. It's, you know, it's not something that I do all the time. You know, I usually don't go this artsy or busy, but every once in a while I think it's fun. And I think that glue on there is so stinking cool. And I'm giving this to my son and he's going to be like, what? That's glue on that? So I'm using some pop dots there to, because I want to pop up the gelatoed panel and I want to pop up the cinnamon. This card's got a lot of dimension going on. And so I'm going to be popping up that panel as well using this ginormous roll of double-sided tape here by Scotch. And then we're going to go ahead and start adhering it all down to the card base there. And then we're going to be just about done. So I was trying to figure out if I wanted it in the center or at the top and which side do I want to be at the top of the panel. So once I figured that out, I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down. And I've got too much space down there on the bottom, so I'm just going to go to my paper trimmer and trim off the bottom edge so the entire card is proportional. Then I'm going to go ahead and adhere the hello down again with pop dots. So we've got dimension from the glue, dimension from the pop dots, texture from the gelato, the glue, the background. I think Lucas is going to love this, and I just think it's so much fun, and it's different, and I love it. Now, one thing I did off camera is I put a heavy coating of Wink of Stella on the hello there that you can see picking up from the camera. Thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in any of the supplies, they're listed below.